Hey guys, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today I've got with me Dan Armstrong, one of my buddies from Pipes and Friends on Facebook. We see each other almost every weekend on the video, and I actually got to meet up with him today at Muletown. And Dan is the blender, the master blender for a line of tobaccos that he makes called Reiver Pipes and Tobaccos. And so far I've seen, maybe close to a dozen different blends that you've got out, and I've tried probably at least half a dozen of them, and everything I've smoked is very, very good, delicious stuff. So I wanted to invite Dan to come and talk with us a little bit.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I'm glad we got to hook up here at Muletown.
Yeah, just happened to bump into each other.
I know, we were standing next to a booth and it was like, yeah. So I wanted to ask a little bit about your history, your past in pipe smoking. How did you get started in pipe smoking?
Well, believe it or not, I didn't start with pipes until probably about 3 years ago. My wife, who, when we met, she said, "Hey, have you ever smoked cigars?" And I was like, "No." She said, Do you want to try?" So she got me into cigars about 10 years ago. And we would, enjoy time sitting on the porch together. And I would have, we would have whiskey, and I would have a cigar, and it was just time for us to bond. And my son-in-law, probably about 5 years ago, wanted to switch up our Thanksgiving tradition of having a cigar to a pipe because he'd been in a pipe club, and he gave me a corncob pipe for my first pipe, and we sat out, and I was like, it just wasn't, it didn't hit me. And then my wife and I were in Scotland, and we were at this little shop down on the borders, and there was this pipe that, for whatever reason, spoke to me, and I was like, I've got to have that pipe. Because I could see myself standing out on the borders, smoking that pipe. And that's kind of what started that whole process.
Because your entire existence in Reiver pipes and tobacco is based on Scottish tradition, isn't it?
All of my signature blends, or the border blends, the 7 of those are all in some way tied to Scotland and the borders and my heritage as a Armstrong Reiver. Now I do have where I'm starting to grow into what I'm calling the Adventure Series, which is, it was a way for me to do something that was unique in tobacco, but didn't necessarily stick to those traditions. So I didn't limit myself, but I also couldn't really call it a border blend.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm kind of going with some of those.
So how long ago did you get started with blending?
2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago.
So this is relatively a new venture for you.
It was.
Yeah.
What started it was we go to antique shows on a regular basis, and I would pick up antique pipes to collect, and I thought, what if I start restoring these, and let me try my hand at doing that. And I restored them, and restored a couple of Dunhills and a couple of pipes that just came out beautiful. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. And I'm like, how can I turn this into something as a hobby that I, can profit from a little bit, and actually to kind of push those pipes back out into the community to get them used.
Yeah.
So I thought, what if I try my hand at blending? I did okay with so I kind of started playing around with it, and I came up with Invictus Mineo after many attempts.
We have a video on that as well.
So
a few months ago. So if you want to kind of get impressions on that one, go look that one up.
Yeah. So I thought, well, this is pretty good, but took me probably 6 months to kind of get where I liked it and I was comfortable.
Yeah.
And I shared it at my local brick and mortar pipe and tobacco store, and they were like, this is good. So I thought, let me kind of put some feelers out, and then I kind of sent out a little sample here and there, and people loved it. And I thought, okay, that seems like I can do this.
Yeah.
And it kind of kicked off from there.
So how many blends do you have right now that you are not necessarily currently making, but in your gallery, in your...
So in my portfolio,
Yeah.
I have 7 of the Reiver border blends, which is Invictus Mineo, Invictus Ember, Steel Cap, Blackmail, Heather Braise, which is what we're smoking now.
Yeah.
Mangerton Morn and Gilnockie Glowman.
Ooh.
And then I have the Adventure Series, which right now is 1. That's the Dwellers of the Forbidden Cellar. And then I've got 4 others that are in various stages of production. So those should be coming out in the near future.
Is Dwellers out yet?
Yep, Dwellers is the one I sent you.
I got that one.
That
I
one.
was wondering, have you already sold out of that, or you still
That
have
one,
some?
literally, I've dropped it 5 times, and it's gone within an hour of me putting it out. I can't.
Well, and that one's supposed to be a knockoff of the Frogmorton Cellar, right?
So I love Frogmorton Cellar. I had a sample of it. Like so many people, I'm not able to go out and pay $130 or $150 for a 100-gram tin of a tobacco. So I thought, I don't want to make a match, but I want to do something that's kind of an homage to it.
Kind of a tribute, yeah.
Yeah. So my spin on it and put it out there. And I shared this with somebody else. It actually kind of came around as a mistake.
Really?
I had some old Sutliff leaf that I was going to do a one-off blend just to use, but I couldn't use the Sutliff leaf, so I had to substitute in different leaf to get that. And I did a couple of things with it, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. So I was like, well, what if I tweak it this way and do it that way? And I realized I had something that was going to be a really good English aromatic.
It's a great blend. I loved it. I thought it was very similar to the Frogmorton Cellar. I don't think we're ever going to get anything exactly the same as what McClellan used to put out.
Yeah.
But this one really does that Frogmorton Cellar justice. I thought it was really, really good.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't set out to make it a match, because you can't.
Right.
You just can't. And, I've been at this for 2 years. I don't have I don't have my personal cellar that's aged well enough to really have those deep flavors that they develop. So I do other things to kind of help mimic those things.
Right.
And I just wanted something that was going to be a good English aromatic that had that little bit of bourbon to it.
Yeah, it's got a little whiskey kick to it. Yeah, it's really nice. I especially if what I like about it is that you can smoke it as is right out of the pouch.
Yep.
But if I found out that if I let it dry out for a little bit, get that whiskey tone just a little bit softer, man, it's just right on the money. It is really, really good. Now, I wanted to ask you because if I'm correct, you have a military background, don't you? You were in the Navy, yes?
Correct. I was a Navy corpsman, but I spent most of my time with the Marine Corps. So I was a field medic or a Fleet Marine Force doc. And now I'm a nurse.
When did you serve?
I served from 1989 to 1996.
Okay, is that the
During
Gulf War? The Gulf War era? Were you over there?
I was. I deployed to the Gulf 3 times.
Oh my goodness!
During that time.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I had a student of mine that was all in the Army, but he was also a corpsman for the Army, and they would land those helicopters. And those they're nuts. You got to have a certain type of mentality to be. He would just bullets flying everywhere, and he would just jet out the back of that helicopter, and go run into danger.
Right.
So I have a lot of respect for that.
And we actually deployed with the Marines, so we were in the field with them as frontline.
So you were there. You got
during the first. To be quite frank, during the first Gulf, there was very little action that we got into. Excuse me. But what I have to say now is that as a nurse, I work for the VA. I'm a program director for the Post 9/11 Combat Veteran Clinic So I've got a staff, and we see all post 9/11 combat veterans now.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough job, isn't it?
it is. It's rewarding, and being a vet, it
Yeah, but you
feels
really
right.
you do see some tragic
Yeah, and
circumstances.
I spent 13 years as an ER nurse too. So
Yeah. Wow. Well, all the respect, man. All the respect for doing that. I mean, that is awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the blend that we are trying right now. This Heather Braise. Tell us a little bit about that blend.
sure. So as I work down my blends, I've had Mineo and I Steel Cap and Black Veil, all kind of heavier English blends, Scottish blends. And I thought, let me get something a little lighter because I wanted to appeal to more smokers. So I thought, and this is how I do a lot of mine, I come up with kind of a scene or an image of the borders. And the thought that came to mind were those rolling hills in Scotland with the heather growing on those hills. So I started thinking about that and what it would be like. So it's an Oriental forward blend. It's predominantly Oriental, Izmir. And then it's got some white burley just to help that body. A little bit of red Virginia to give it a little natural sweetness. And then just a tiny bit of Perique to give it just a little carry.
So this doesn't have any Latakia in it. I was going to ask that because I don't taste anything like that.
No.
Now the Orientals in it are really nice. It brings out a bit of a tartness, kind of a lemony tartness in there, a citrus tartness that is really, really balanced with the other flavors, especially the reds. But it counters that sweetness with the tartness. You get a really good mouthfeel on this, which I imagine is from the burleys, giving it kind of a smoky body to it. It's really good. It's really good.
I found without the burley, when I was doing my test blends, it was coming out a little thin. So I wanted to add that burley to it just to give it a little more body to it and that smoke.
All right, well, I'm not sure when this video drops, but coming up, what do you got coming out that you want to talk about?
Well, right now I've been kind of focusing on the adventure series to get those done. I have Dwellers of the Forbidden Cellar is what's called DMO1. That's the first. DMO2 is it's going to be a frontier burley, so it's a heavier burley. Kind of harken back to that kind of those codger burley blends.
Yeah.
I'm working on that one. That one should be available pretty soon.
Okay.
I'm working on another aromatic, which aromatics aren't my thing, but I'm really excited about this one. It's going to be that one where, I'll never divulge what that flavor is, but people are going to be, I think I recognize that. What is that? So I'm looking forward to that one.
On this one, this Heather Braise, was there any type of additives that you put into it to kind of?
It is cased with distilled water, just a little bit of vodka just to carry that, and actual Scottish heather honey that we brought back from Scotland with us.
Nice. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
So you get the little bit of heather.
Yeah, that.
And in true Scottish tradition of blending, they very rarely use toppings or heavy casings. So when I case it, it's usually to the point where you can barely, it's just an essence.
Right.
So you don't get a lot of honey in this.
I get a floralness though.
But you get a little bit of that floralness from the heather.
It's a really good blend.
Well, thank you.
So you got this burley one coming out, and you're saying that's going to drop
probably within the
pretty
next
quick.
4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. And then what? Any other plans coming up that you want to share?
Well, I think in the adventure series, a couple of the other blends, we've got the aromatic, which will come out. I've got another Oriental blend, and I would consider it to be very similar to a certain Peretti blend that people love, but just a little hint of sweetness to it.
Ah, okay. All right.
But natural sweetness.
Excuse me. Where do you source your tobacco from? I mean, I'm sure you have different.
So primarily I utilize Cornell and Deal for a lot of the things. Some of the things I use, I get whole leaf, and then we'll take care of that myself.
Now, is everything that you've got right now in a ribbon cut or in?
It's all ribbon cut. I've not made any flakes yet. That's after I retire in about 2.5 years. Then I've got more time to really work on those.
You look too young to be able to retire.
You know, believe it or not, 2.5 years, I'll have 30 years of federal service.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
But the blackmail, which is my heavy English blend,
Yeah.
that's a crumble cake.
Did I try that one?
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did.
I'll
yeah.
have to make sure you get some of that.
Yeah, I
And-
know I did the Invictus Mineo, Invictus Ember Steel Cap,
Yep.
and then now the Heather Braise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, blackmail is a crumble cake. These are homemade presses, and they're made in the old style, and they are hand pressed, and they come in 2-ounce crumble cake. They're about this thick, and they're about the size of a deck of cards.
Okay. How long do you press them for?
It depends on the blend, but the blackmail usually presses for about 2 weeks.
Okay. That's pretty
But
normal.
then once I get those unpressed, they go into vacuum bags, and they get compressed completely, so it maintains that compression
And that moisture
until
level.
it gets
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the person.
Nice. Okay. How can people find you and your when you drop tobaccos? How can they get a hold of you?
So I've found out more often than not today, especially here at Muletown, that I have to get a Instagram presence. But I have the Reiver Pipes and Tobacco Facebook group,
Facebook. Yep.
and it's a private group, so you do have to answer a couple of questions and then get approval to come in. But then once you're in there, a great group of people, you're in there.
Yep.
And
I'm the exception.
And then obviously any of the information about the blends I put out there. And we also have a lot of other, it's not just about the Reiver blends, as you know. Tom Smith, who's a great friend, posts reviews of all tobaccos in there. Other people talk about what they're smoking that day, and it is whatever they happen to be having.
Yeah.
Talk about different pipes. We talk about different blends. You know, it's more about community than it's not a commercial
sales
site,
pressure,
right.
yeah.
It's not a sales presence or a commercial.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I know that you're heavily involved in the blending right now, but we also have the restoration side of
Right.
what you do. Can you talk a little bit about that and what
Yep.
kind of services you provide for that?
So typically right now, I've got probably somewhere between 300 and 400 pipes, estate pipes to restore, sitting in my shop that have all taken a back seat to the blending for the past 2 years. And basically I typically restore those, and I just put them back out there to the community for them to be reused and reloved, and to get the community to grow.
If people have a pipe that they want restored, are you able to do that type of thing, or are you not there yet? Or
I think I'm capable, but there are so many other guys that's what they do, and they do it well. I would defer to them for their ability.
So more than a restoration, I mean, I know you do the restoration, but you're more of an estate
Refinisher.
kind of,
Yeah.
okay. And then you have those available for people
Correct.
for
Yep.
sale.
Yep.
Okay, interesting, cool.
Yep.
Now, where are you located?
I'm actually in the thinnest part of Maryland. You spit in either direction, you hit Pennsylvania one way and West Virginia the other.
You know, I was looking on the map the other day, trying to figure out where is Maryland that thin, and I found it.
Yep.
I found it. It's way up there. You know, you have to go west of Maryland.
Yep. Literally, Hancock, Maryland, which is my town, which is a population of 1,500, is literally the actual thinnest point of Maryland. And Hancock sits dead center. So,
Well, but you're close to Virginia, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, right?
and we're an hour and a half away from Delaware, and so we're we've got a good location for hitting all kinds of areas.
Very cool. Well, guys, make sure that you follow Dan. I know you do have an Instagram presence.
That's my personal presence.
Dan Armstrong, right? And then on Facebook, you can find him personally, and you can find Reiver Pipes and Tobaccos. Join the group, answer a few questions, and you'll get to be part of a community that's really, really cool. Also, I wanted to throw out Pipes and Friends. We meet every Saturday. I mean, that's how Dan and I kind of got to talking with each other. But we meet every Saturday on a Zoom video at noon Central Time. And it's just a fun group of guys that all they're interested in is making friends and smoking good tobacco. So we invite you to join that. That's also going to be something that you click and you have to answer some questions, and then somebody will approve you to join. But then you'll get the link to our Zoom meetings, and you'll be able to come on whenever you want. We also have a Zoom room where people just jump on all times of the day, all week long, and just sit down and we look at each other and we smoke pipes and talk trash. So anyway, well, Dan, thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank you much, sir.
Yeah, like I said, I've tried everything that Dan has sent me, and it's good stuff. I really enjoy it. As a matter of fact, when some of these others come out, I'm gonna have to jump on it on your site before it gets sold out. Yeah. That's the problem, guys, is that you got to be in the right place in the right time so that you can get your hand in there and get some stuff.
Well, and honestly, I had to go to a request form. So now people actually put it in a request once the form goes live, and that way there's no confusion about it. I've got it. And
you're not taking money from people that you don't have product
exactly,
for.
Because I used to, people literally would pay me and say, send me this, I paid for it. I'm like, you can't do that. I don't have it. So,
all right, guys. Well, that's all we got for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, make all your piping moments count. We'll see you next time from here at Muletown, Columbia, Tennessee. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.